welcome back at the forefront. We now have with us via phone patch Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa. Good morning, Senator Bato.
Good morning, Karen, at good morning sa ating mga taga-subaybay.
Senator Bato, kamusta naman po kayo?
Okay lang, Karen. Okay lang.
At nasaan po ba kayo? Nasa Manila or Davao?
Basta, andito ko sa Manila.
Okay. Bilang isang kaibigan po ni former President Duterte, ano po yung naramdaman ninyo dun sa nangyari sa kanya? Pati yung pagpapaaresto po sa kanya?
Malungkot ako. Very sad. At wala akong helpless ako. I want to help him but wala tayong magawa talaga.
And kayo po dati bilang polis, nag-aaresto rin kayo. Yung manner of arrest po ba, do you think dapat, kasi some people are commenting na sana man lang daw po may courtesy bilang former president po ng Pilipinas na in the manner he was arrested. Kasi hindi nga daw po man lang pinayagan na makaligo or magdala ng pagpalit ng damit or ng kahit toothbrush man lang. So, ano pong masasabi nyo dito?
I don't know the urgency of the orders given to General Torino. Kung bakit gano'n sila nagmamadali. I don't know talaga. I don't know. But para sa akin, if it was a normal, regular enforcement operations, it could have been done in a very gentlemanly manner at a courteous manner. Pwede naman pakiusapan na ganito ganon. Huwag daanin sa disrespect at saka sa yung parang you are treating the former president as an ordinary criminal. So all I can say is that the one leading the arrest is lasing sa kapangyarihan. Lasing sa kapangyarihan.
Paano niyo po planong suportahan si Tatay Digong habang nasa kustodiya siya ng ICC?
I don't know, Karen, paano. He is beyond reach and he is beyond our jurisdiction. So whatever actions, legal actions that we are going to do here in our territory, I don't think it matters pagdating doon sa ICC. I don't know really.
But meron po ba kayong at least na pag-asa na meron pang magagawa dito? Because the Supreme Court, as of yesterday, came out with a statement that there are 3 petitions for certiorari, prohibition, and for habeas corpus that are pending with them. And then they required members of the government to respond and show cause in a non-extendable period of 24 hours as to why writ of habeas corpus should not issue.
Well, until now, I'm still very hopeful that the Supreme Court remains independent and is going to do its job according to its constitutional mandate at hindi magpapa-impluensya whatever influence na pwedeng makaka-affect sa kanilang magiging decision. I'm still very hopeful na Supreme Court will be fair enough and all their actions will be just for everyone. So, ayun lang. Umaasa lang ako talaga sa Supreme Court as of now. Sana merong fairness pa tayong ma-experience dito sa Pilipinas. Because I believe that Supreme Court is a co-equal branch of government. Dapat hindi sila madiktahan ng Malacanang. Not even the Congress can influence Supreme Court. So I have high hopes that Supreme Court remains true to its mandate.
Senator Bato, may pagkakataon po ba kayong makausap man lang si former President Duterte from the time that he was taken into custody?
Wala na talaga, wala na talaga. Kahit nga dito pa sa Pilipinas yun, hirap ang kontak mo dahil hindi man yun humahawak ng cellphone. Magtatanong-tanong lang tayo kung sino mga malapit sa kanya na nandoon malapit sa kanya at pwedeng ipasa ang cellphone. Yun man lang pamamaraan natin, pero yung directly sa kanya, wala man siyang hawakan na cellphone kasi. So, lalo na ngayon na wala na tayong aid na mapakiusapan na ipasa yung cellphone sa kanya. The only one who is there with him is former Executive Secretary Miguel Dia. Pero ang problema ngayon, hiwalay na sila at as of yesterday, yung nabalitaan ko, hindi niya makita. I don't know kung nag-reconnect na sila. Kasi hinahanap daw niya, hindi niya ma-locate si President Duterte kung nasaan na. So, ang hirap talaga ng contact doon sa kanila. Lalo na ngayon.
Senator, nakatrabaho niyo po si former President Duterte. Sa pagkakaalam niyo po ba, may kapasidad siya na to maintain his own medications? Kasi meron daw pong mga maintenance medicines si PRRD.
Meron talaga dapat siyang kasama na mag-alalay sa kanya. Lalo na ngayon sa edad niya at saka sa sitwasyon where he is in, he should have been supported by at least isa man lang na nakakaalam kung anong gamot inumin niya sa oras na ito, anong gamot ang i-take niya sa araw na ito. So dapat ganun mayroon sanang mag-alalay. Pero sadly, nobody can take care of him right now.
Bukod po sa inyo, may siyam pa raw na kakasuhan or kinasuhan na ng ICC, including Senator Alan Peter Cayetano at former Senator Richard Gordon. Do you have information po tungkol dito?
I don't know. Wala ko information patungkol dyan.
Meron po kasing list na lumabas, and I think meron ditong 11, including former Solgen Jose Calida, and you are also included here. Sa inyo po ba meron ng communication din, whether it's from ICC or any other body that has informed you of these charges?
Wala naman. There was only one time na mayroong nag-email na claiming to be somebody from ICC. Nag-email doon sa opisina ko. Pero in-ignore namin dahil, we maintain our position that they don't have jurisdiction over us. So communicating with them is tantamount to acknowledging their jurisdiction over us. So hindi namin pinansin, hinayaan lang namin.
And sa inyo po bang pananaw ay makakapunta pa kayo, makakadulog kayo, may time kayong dumulog sa korte? Considering that you've seen what happened to former President Duterte, na sa kanya po wala nang time in the way that they carried out the arrest.
I will talk to them, whoever is going to implement or is going to execute implement the warrant of arrest against me. I will talk to them police to police. I have been their chief PNP before, and I will talk to them police to police. Tingnan natin kung ano yung sabihin nila. Pag-usapan ko sila na for the time being, kalimutan nyo muna yung anong instruction sa inyo. Kalimutan nyo muna. Let's be rational enough to listen to the points that I'm going to raise before you. So yun ang magiging approach ko. Kalimutan nyo muna na may instruction sa inyo. Kasi yung instruction naman sa inyo coming from somebody upstairs na yun naman ang kailang basis naman daw kuno is yung commitment sa Interpol, which is a lot of bullshit. I don't accept that reasoning, no? I don't accept that reasoning. You
Are-
are going to implement a warrant of arrest coming from somebody which is not a competent authority as far as the Philippines is concerned, because hindi naman tayo talaga obligado sa kanila dahil wala naman sa jurisdiction sa atin. So kung gamitin pa nila uli yung lame excuse nila about Interpol, makipagdebate ako sa kanila hanggang kahit isang taon ako makipagdebate sa kanila.
Are you worried po that you will be helpless from a political standpoint because you've seen that this was still enforced against a former president of the Philippines, and kayo po as a senator, mas kahit papano, mas malayo po yun from being a former president. Are you worried that you'll be helpless in terms of being subjected to a sudden arrest?
Yeah. I am expecting for the worst, Karen. I am expecting for the worst. Because this administration is talagang focused on dismantling us, the Duterte and the Duterte associates. Talagang they're focused on demolish everyone to make way for their plans in the coming 2028 elections. So I am expecting for the worst. No, hindi mo pwedeng you are not going to take this lightly, because alam mo na, if they did it to a former president, why can't they do it to a former chief PNP and now a sitting senator? Kaya nilang gawin yan.
Nagbigay ka po ng pahayag kahapon na mas gugustuhin mo pang makulong kasama ni former President Duterte at alagaan siya sa ICC detention facility. Ano po ba ang turing ninyo kay former President Duterte? Gaano po siya kalapit sa inyo?
Well, ang may bigay kong tulong, no, Karen, I'm not a lawyer. I cannot provide him legal counseling. I am only an ordinary person. Siguro, ang maitulong ko sa kanya is moral, physical, sa health niya, even spiritual. There would be a great time for us to talk about everything under the heat of the sun, just to kill the time. At malaking bagay yan sa kanya. Na-observe ko nga nung nasa Malacanang siya na sobrang stressful yung buhay niya bilang presidente. At pag nakita niya kaming bumibisita sa kanya sa Malacanang, kami mga long-time friends niya, nakikita ko nabubuhayan siya, parang nag-sparkle yung kanyang mata, parang bumabalik yung kanyang kabataan. Pag nakita niya kami mga lumang kaibigan niya. So I hope with my presence it can boost his longevity at least sa kanyang sitwasyon ngayon. Siguro makakasurvive siya pag more chances of survival kapag nandun ako, makatulong-tulong sa kanya in whatever way I can.
So outside of just being former colleagues, talagang malalim po yung pagkakaibigan ninyo. Sino po ba si former President Duterte sa buhay ni Senator Bato de la Rosa?
Yeah, alam mo, yung aking pagiging pulis, marami na akong dinaan ng frustration sa buhay. There were times na I was about to surrender dahil sa aking enthusiasm, no, sa aking trabaho noon. Wala akong kinikilalang kahit na mga political warlord doon sa Mindanao. Anybody coming from Cotabato or Lanao na warlord, pagpapasok sa Davao City, pinagdidisarmahan ko yan because bawal magdala ng long firearms doon sa loob ng Davao City. So, sangkatutak na kaso, dahil lalong-lalo na kung yung warlord na yun ay nakakulik sa Malacanang, talagang re-resback ang kaso. Ang dami kong kaso. So, dumating yung punto, Karen, na hindi ako ma-promote. Yung aking mga classmate ay mga kernel na. meron ng full colonel. Ako, major pa rin dahil hindi ko ma-promote. So, I was about to surrender. I told my wife na mag-resign na lang ako dahil hirap pala ng buhay ng pulis talaga. Kung magtrabaho ka, hindi ka promote. Samantala yung mga classmate ko na nasa opisina lang, pencil posing lang ang trabaho, ay ang bilis ma-promote. Full colonel na. Ako, major pa rin. So mag-resign ako. But here comes, nalaman ni Mayor Duterte yung aking predicament. Siya ang gumawa ng paraan. Paano ma-dismiss yung aking mga kaso. Tinulungan niya ako. Kuha siya ng abogado. Mga kaso ko sa ombudsman, pinasikaso niya. So, na-dismiss yung mga kaso at finally, na-promote din ako. So, ganun po ang aking utang na loob sa kanya. There were times na yung nalaman niya na namatay yung tatay ko, wala ako dito, nandoon ako nag-schooling ako sa ibang bansa. Siya ang nag-asikaso. Ginastusan niya nung siya ay mayor. So, gano'n na lang po yung utang na loob ko sa kanya. At who was Bato then? Before siya naging presidente si Digong. I was nobody. Kita niya yung potential ko. Kita niya yung dedication ko sa trabaho. Kahit na one-star general lang ako nung siya naging presidente, talagang inappoint niya ako. Ang one-star, pinomote niya ako ng four-star general kasi nakita niya yung potential ko at yung aking puso sa trabaho. So, yun, ganun na lang ang aking utang na loob sa kanya dahil sa kanyang tulong. Kasi yung pagtulong niya sa akin, hindi lang naman actually akong tinulungan niya, kundi lahat ng tao na natutulungan ko in my capacity as a chief PNP or whatever capacity, ay nakikinabang rin dahil sa kanyang binigyan na tulong sa akin. Kung hindi niya ako tulungan, hindi ako niya tinulungan, hindi ako nakatulong sa ibang tao.
So,
ganun po ang aming pinagsamahan. At Karen, I think you will believe me na never in how many more than 30 years of professional and personal relationship namin ni President Duterte, never niya ginamit yung kanyang pagiging mayor or pagiging presidente for his personal agenda. Never. Kahit nasabihin mong putulan mo ko ng liig ngayon, never ako talaga inutusan niya ng kalukuhan na gagawa ng ganito para sa kanyang political agenda. So, ganun lang po ang respeto ko sa tao because with his enormous power, with his enormous influence, still, nanatili siyang yung ordinaryo, mahiyain nga, yung basta mag-express ka sa kanya ng utang na loob, para bang leading towards expressing your loyalty towards him. Ang response ka ganyan, no. Ay, tumatayo yung balahibo ko. Huwag ka na magsabi ng gano'n. Masyadong kuwan na tao. Yung grounded na walang kahit kunting yabang.
kaya pala willing po kayo na samahan siya sa ICC detention facility. Talagang napakalalim po ng pinagsamahan ninyo. Kung may pagkakataon po kayong makausap siya ngayon, ano po yung gusto niyo sabihin sa kanya? Hello, Senator Bato?
I'm trying to
Sorry ba?
trying to compose myself.
Opo, parang
trying to
ano
compose
nga po
myself.
kayo, emotional.
I'm trying to compose myself. Pasensya ka na. Pasensya ka na.
Sige po, take your time, Senator.
I'm, I'm, uh, I'm going to tell him na, sir, uh, yung kwan na lang sa kanya. Just remember, sir, what you said before. Yeah, you're willing to live in hell as long as your people are living in heaven. You must be living in hell right now in ICC, but remember the people, yung mga taong sinaganda mo ang buhay. Kasama na ko doon.
Oh, salamat po, Senator.
Saka, sabi mo, kung kalimutan, God is watching. God is watching. Sige lang, sir. We will overcome all this crisis that we are now facing. Hindi lang naman ikaw ang nasasaktan ngayon. Buong Pilipinas, kung makita mo yung expression of support, yung rally, kaliwa kanan, candle lighting, kahit saan, anong lugar, makikita mo man kung gaano lakalap si Pangulong Duterte.
Maraming salamat po, Senator Bato. Sana po nandito kayo at it's such an emotional message po for our former president.
Hindi ko kaya ka rin kumarap sa kamera kung ganitong sitwasyon. Hirap. Sige Karen, salamat ha.
Maraming salamat po, Senator Bato. At sana po makita namin kayo in person soon.
Sige Karen. Thank you Karen.